right, so we're going to go over example 3, which is very similar to what we've been doing. I just wanted to show you in a different quadrant, a quadrant other than quadrant 1, which everything has been in so far. And so right now our situation is that ice forms at 0 degrees Celsius. The surface temperature of the ice on an ice rink decreases 0.5 degrees Celsius every hour. And we want to draw a graph to model the situation. And we're going to start when the surface temperature of the ice is 0. All right, and so since that's our start, when we go to make our table, that means we're starting our time when our temperature is at 0. And so we have hours, which is our x, and temp, which is our y. And so I'm going to go ahead and put those on our x and y axis. So we have time, which is in hours. We're just going to put h there. And we have temperature, make that temp, which is in degrees Celsius. And that's just so anyone reading the graph knows what it is we're talking about. And then the whole graph we're going to title surface temp, because I don't want to write out temperature of the ice rink. All right, so hours makes sense to count by 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're just going to keep going. I'm going to go to like 10 for now. And then surface temperature is decreasing by 0.5. So every box is going to be 0.5, but I'm just every 2, I'm going to put a whole number. So 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. All right, so after 1 hour, our temperature decreases, means goes down. So I'm going to do 0 minus 0.5. So we're going to end up with a negative 0.5. And then after 2 hours, we're sitting at a negative 1, because when I subtract another 0.5, we're now at 1. And after 3 hours, we're at a negative 1.5. And after 4 hours, we're at a negative 2. So now I'm going to take that table that I created, because I'm decreasing by the same amount each time. I'm just using that rate of change, and I'm creating the rest of the table. So 0, 0 is where we start, right? At that 0 degrees, 0 hours. After 1 hour, we are negative, and I only put ones. These should be negatives. That was a terrible mistake on Mrs. Cartwright's side. Negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, all the way to negative 7. All right, so when we're at 1, we're at a negative 0.5. When we're x is 2, after 2 hours, we're at the point negative 2, negative 1 is where we are, right? That was that point. And then we're doing 3, negative 1.5. So 3, negative 1.5. And then we're at 4, negative 2. And I can continue this graph because it's the same slope. Each time I go, I'm going to go down half and over 1, down half and over 1. And so that allows us to make the rest. Now, could I check the surface temperature at a half hour? Yes. Is the temperature still changing every half hour? Yes, it changes each minute. So because it changes between the hours, right, every minute it's still decreasing in temperature, it's going to be a continuous graph. Not that I can graph it or draw it very well. There we go. It's going to be a continuous graph going down. So is the surface temperature of the ice proportional to the time? So are we changing at a constant rate of change? The answer to that is yes. Did we start at 0, 0? And the answer to that is yes. So yes, It is proportional. And how do we know? We start at 0, 0. 0, 0, and a constant rate of change. That's how we know. ROC, rate of change. Or the constant of proportionality is the same. However you want to say it, but that's how we know. So, recap. We have a discrete graph, which is just points. If our x values we can't do anything between our x values. So say it's like video games, or number of jackets washed, or number of cookies sold, because no one's selling half a cookie. You can eat half a cookie, but no one's selling half a cookie, right? If we have items like that where we can't do anything in between them, then we're going to create what is called a discrete graph. If we're working with time or money, and we can do like the in-between numbers, then we make a continuous graph, which just means we make the dots and we draw a line through them. To be proportional, you have to start at 0, 0, and you have to have a constant rate of change. Or in other words, we're making linear graphs. A proportional graph is a linear graph. So I will see you in class where we'll talk more. Until then.